Hey geeks, welcome to another episode of Dogfooding with David McCarter. I'm glad you're here, and I also want to say I hope you're doing well during this pandemic we're dealing with right now. Stay safe, stay healthy, because I want to see you at a conference sometime soon. Don't know when, but soon. I want to talk about a program I've been using for a long time today, and that product is Camtasia from TechSmith. Camtasia is a software that I use to record all of these videos, all of the Done It Dave, 256 seconds with Done It Dave videos, basically all my videos. I do screen grabs and I record the camera with Camtasia. As far as I'm aware, Camtasia is probably the leader in this space. I know a long time ago when I was frustrated with the Mac version of Camtasia, I looked for other Mac software like this, and I couldn't find anything that came close to Camtasia. A while back, I moved to Camtasia for Windows because at least then the Windows version turned out to be a lot better than the Mac version, and I just haven't gone back yet. So, but that said, there's lots of features of Camtasia I really do like. It makes doing things like this easier if you were trying to do it all on your own. It has some cool features with graphics and text, and I'll talk a little bit more about that too. You know, I want to do two things with this video. One is, taking the dog fooding theme, right, is, the whole theme of that is, I believe software is better if the people writing it use it. And I know that's not always possible, There's some maybe enterprise software at your company that maybe you wrote that you really can't use or use on a regular basis. Camtasia is definitely not one of those apps. Anybody can use Camtasia, and I hope that everybody at TechSmith is using it. I hope periodically they're recording an hour-long video and editing it and putting in graphics and text, kind of like I do, and see what they think after that hour-long video. I'm making these suggestions because I think it's things that need to be done, things that need to be done better, and for the most part, to save me time. When you record videos like this, my good estimate is it takes me about 4 times the length of the recording to edit it. I know some people might be a little quicker than me, but I tend to use a lot of graphics and text and things. So with that, even if I can save 5-10 minutes, it would really be helpful. So I think some of the things in this video, I hope TechSmith watches. This is meant for them too. This is the buildup of a lot of things I've been seeing at least this year, and I hope they take this. And TechSmith, please contact me if you want to talk about it. Last week I did report to them, and I haven't got back to them yet, that I found a bug in the current version of the 2019 version of Camtasia, that if you pause a video to do something and then you unpause it, the audio and the video gets out of sync. And it took me the better part of 2 days last weekend to record one 10-minute video. To edit one 10-minute video. So because of that syncing problem. I had actually recorded the video twice because I thought maybe I did something wrong the first time, but then I did a second time and it got out of sync again. So I'm using a green screen, and Camtasia does have a green screen filter, and it works okay. It could be better. I'm going to put a moving background behind me, so you let me know what you think about Camtasia's green screen filter. And some of the things I'm going to show are basically things I think that a lot of apps should be doing and most don't. And I'll kind of point some of those apps out too. Okay? So let's get into my comments. So the first thing I want to talk about is a feature that many video editing applications have called Ripple Delete. And Ripple Delete is when you select a portion of a track, delete it, and then the track from the right-hand side moves over and matches up with the left-hand side. So here I am. I'm going to delete the 2 tracks on the left, and I'm going to do the ripple delete, which will move the right tracks over. And you'll see, as soon as that happens, where I am in the timeline stays the same. It doesn't move to the beginning of the track, which really blows a lot of time for me. So you can see there, it didn't move to where that track began. So I have to do the back to do it. But the other thing is I always go back a second or so to see how the transition happens. So not only do I want it to go to the beginning of the track on the right, but also back up about a second so I can see the audio and video transition and make sure they're okay. Because sometimes I have to undo and then do it again. So if Camtasia could do that, it would be really helpful. Now, the Adobe products suffer from the same thing. Premiere Pro, I think recently fixed it so it does back up to the beginning of the track, but then I still have to move it a second. So I wish Premiere Pro and Camtasia did the same thing. It would really save a lot of time for me because, you know, some videos you could have 10, 20, 50 or more of these edits. And so that's a lot of time over that many edits. The other thing is, I'm pretty sure that when you do that ripple delete, it doesn't move other assets over. And what I mean by that is, let's say I have some text that comes up at a certain position in a track, right? When I do the ripple delete, you know, that text track doesn't move with the rest of the track. Then I have to go and basically do all that by hand, and that's a real time waster. Here's something that really, really bugs me. And I cannot figure out how to turn this off because it drives me insane. And actually, in the last video I recorded last weekend, this happened over 19 times. And I just pull my hair out. So Camtasia's got this feature called quizzes. I'm not really sure what they do. I've never, researched it enough or needed to use that feature. But as you'll see, it's constantly doing this plus thing to add a quiz. And I can't get the dang thing to go away. So here I'm just moving around on the track and you're going to see this orange. See, there the quiz popped up, right? And the only way to get rid of it, because I don't want it, is to right mouse click on it, do delete. But then it's going to keep happening. Like I said, last week it happened over 19 times. Camtasia, please let me turn that freaking thing off. I don't want to do a quiz. Because of this, I don't know if I ever want to do a quiz. So one of the effects that's newer to Camtasia is these really cool effects that make it easy to move text graphics onto the screen and off the screen. And also it can make the graphic or text move while it's on the screen and things like that. I use the pop-up effect a lot. So here I have a graphic I'm going to pop up and I do the pop-up effect. I go over, I'd look and see which way I want it to come in. And then during, I usually always turn it off because I don't want things moving during the track. I just wanted to move when that track is over and move off the screen, right? So I basically set up these pop-up effects the exact same way every single time. I pop it in, I turn off the during behavior, and then it pops out at the end, right? I do this, I don't even know how many hundreds of times I've done this. I really wish Camtasia would remember that or let me make a template or something so I don't have to do that every single time I use a pop-up. And again, Camtasia is not the only product that does this. Adobe products do the same thing. They can't seem to remember any effect that I do because usually I do the same changes to effects because, there's a certain way I like drop shadows, there's a certain way I like borders around text boxes and things like that. That's just my style. But unfortunately, every time you apply one of these things, I have to set it up from basically scratch every single time. So please remember my settings. And this is a common thing through many, many applications. Like I said, not only Adobe products, but PowerPoint, same way. I do the exact same drop shadow on PowerPoint, and it cannot remember the way I set it up. All app developers, including at TechSmith, please put this in. It's not really that difficult. I'm a software engineer. I know it's not difficult. I've done it in the past before. It would save me so much time. Speaking of drop shadow, This is an example of the drop shadow I was talking about before, where I set it up the exact same way. I have to set it to black, then I change the opacity, and then sometimes I change the offset and blur, but the color and the opacity I set the same way every single time, and I just wish programs like this would remember that. Actually, because of this, what I do is, not for this because this is a graphic, but for like the text box tracks, I just copy and paste them all over so I don't have to keep resetting the settings. I just have to change the text, which is actually a lot easier. So this issue is another ripple delete issue, and this is a bug to me. And that is, if I have two tracks, you're going to see here in a second, if I have two tracks I want to ripple delete, Camtasia will only move the right-hand track over just one of those tracks, not both of them, which it really should. So this to me is a bug. So you can see I'm going to select those two tracks there, then I'm going to do a ripple delete, but you can see the right-hand track only moved over one of those tracks sections, not both of them, and it really should have moved over both. Camtasia also has some issues with the mouse cursor being over more towards the right-hand side of the screen, and things just happening, like, you know, the position on the track will just jump somewhere, or you'll move back. It's just weird things happen when the mouse is on the right-hand side of the screen, towards the end of what you can see on the editing screen in the bottom there. This issue is, I didn't have anything selected. I was just moving around, and all of a sudden, my track disappears. So you can see there, I split the tracks, and then the playhead's going over, and all of a sudden the track disappears. I didn't do anything. It just, boom, gone, and I have to do undo to get it back. So this, again, to me is a bug, not a feature request. This next one, and the Adobe products have similar issues too, is that when you split a track and delete a section, it doesn't select the right-hand side, the track to the right, which in most cases I wanted to select that because, you know, I'm going to move the playhead along and I'm going to do another action to split something and delete it, and it would be nice if it was already selected. So you can see here the playhead's moving along, and I'm going to move it there, and then I'm going to split it. And it would be nice if it selected the track on the right-hand side so I could do another delete, right? I think the Adobe products select the one on the left-hand side, which kind of drives me a bit bonkers, but I guess they do that for the ripple delete. So it would be nice if it would select one of those or allow me to choose which one. So it, again, decreases my editing time. So those are some of the issues in Camtasia. Another one I was thinking about I would really like to have is the ability to copy and paste attributes of a track and not the track. Premiere Pro from Adobe allows you to do this. And this makes it really easy to apply the same effect or move you know, what's in the screen around to the same, because sometimes I've gone along and I've edited the track a bunch of times and I go, oops, I forgot to put a drop shadow on it, right? So then I have to go back to every track section and put a drop shadow on it, change the settings, put a drop shadow on it, change the settings, put it, you see where I'm going with this? It would be really nice if I could write like Premiere Pro from Adobe does. I could right mouse click on it, say copy, and then go to those other tracks and right mouse click and say paste attributes, and then allow me which attributes I want to paste, just like Premiere Pro. So I hope this gives you a glimpse of, you know, how I look at things being a software engineer, and how you should look at things being a software engineer to make it easier on your users. You want to make your users' life as easy as possible, because they're going to keep coming back or purchasing a program or purchasing licenses. When you don't do that, then your users are going to leave and you'll never get them back. I've seen this happen at companies I've worked at where they didn't listen to me about these kind of things, and customers started dropping like flies. So when you are doing the user interface for an app, please pretend you're a user, not a software engineer. And I think that will make your apps a lot better. And again, TechSmith, if you want to contact me, please do. And let's talk about these issues and maybe some other ones I'm having. Thanks a lot. And I hope you'll join me for another episode of Dog Fooding with David McCarter.